Hi, welcome to a new video dedicated to the super compact brushless tiny whoop style quadcopter. This is the HB the HB68, and it's a PNB version, so it means that you will have to provide your own receiver and general radio system. So what we have here, a super compact 68mm tiny whoop style machine. Okay, and with super small brushless 0603 motor, so even smaller than 0703, usually used for the former brushless tiny whoop attempt machine. So it's a basic box, transparent one, so let's discover the content of this one. Just a few elements inside. So first, a very small square where is represented the diagram of all the connection of the flight controller. So it's an F3 board, omnibus version with a built-in OSD, as that's great. At least we have some buzzer pad there. Okay, we have for the video transmitter already soldered all the connection for the video transmission. Okay, as well the V-in, V-out for the OSD plus 5V and ground. And here, okay, on the bottom side, more on the left side, we have the connection for the future receiver. So as bus PPM connection is obviously supported. Okay, and then the main battery connection. Here is a quadcopter, but whatever we have in the bag of spare props, there are some 35mm model for the quadri-blade. Another bag with prop remover tool, and here it's a micro USB to micro USB 90 degrees extender, okay, to make your connection to the quadcopter more easy, or to make a more I would say easy the level settings. Okay, if you want to level your quadcopter to reset your gyros, accelerometers, it will be much more easy. And already pre-installed, we have also this is not a LiPo, it's a new LEHV, so with 3.8 volt right now. It's a 260 mAh model, and it's ending with the 2mm PH connector, and mine I receive a 260, but it can come with a 250 depending on the I would say the battery provider of this company. So pretty efficient and should offer about 3-4 minutes of flight time. Of course, we will check that fact. Here is a quadcopter, and it's super small. So let's check the exact dimension. So it should be a 68mm. You have to know that already HB announced a 64mm, so just 4mm smaller and 2 grams more lighter. So, and it comes directly in a BNA version. So this one is clearly 68, and it's super compact. So if you want to know the weight, okay, standalone without the battery and the receiver, this model weighs 23.1 grams with the battery installed, close to 30 grams, so you will have to add close to 2 grams with the receiver and the connection. And let's compare, for example, with the Bolt Clash B06. Okay, look the difference of size between both. It's look like much more compact and smaller, so even more adapted for indoors. So what I really like, in fact, you have a 3 omnibus plus OSD, so if you plug a good receiver, for example FSky with some RSSI output for the OSD, you will enjoy full display information. So let's focus a little bit more on the machine. First of all, look at that, all the motors are connected to the PCB through a plug. That's great for motor maintenance, and look the size of such motors, how small they are. Okay, I don't know if I can make a close-up. It's not really efficient, but it's super small. And if we compare with the 0703, okay, they look much more compact and more narrow. So they even managed to reduce the size of brushless motors. Now the main question, what will be the motor thrust associated with them? There are some numbers, but associated with some 56 two-blade props, okay, so and it's offer a maximum of 24 grams. So with such kind of quadri-blades, more smaller props, we shouldn't exceed more than 10-13 gram maximum. Okay, so in maximum we should have something about 40-50 grams in total with the 4 motors added. So what we have here, we have the battery compartment where you have to insert the battery, and I observe there is some little loose. Okay, so the grip is not fantastic. You won't lose it mid-flight, but versus time, I think there will be some discrepancy about this battery attachment. Probably you will need to secure a little bit more tight a little bit more the battery installation. Most of the elements are in plastic, okay, the ring system, for example, all of them, but there are also, I don't know if you will be able to see, there is a carbon structure all around, okay, but the arms are not in carbon. They are in plastic, but all the surrounding are cross, okay, like this. This shape is in carbon base, super small, much small. I don't think it's exceed 1 millimeters. Yes, it's 1 millimeters. It's carbon, and the arms are connected to this frame. So the question, what will be the durability? I'm not afraid because it's super light. Okay, so I think it will handle very well many crash indoors. I'm not afraid. So we have quadri blade, 35 millimeters. Let's check that. Okay. Let's check that. We have something about, yes, 35, no problem. And the duct system, okay, is also about 40 millimeters, so it's quite tender. We have the main canopy, a plastic one, where on the left hole you can adjust access to the unique video transmitter button. So we have a classic combo, 600 TVL CMOS camera, 120 degrees of field of view. The light sensitivity will be in average, and we have a 48 channel, 25 milliwatt for the video transmission part. So as usual, short press to cycle between the 8 frequencies inside the selected current band, and if you long press, you will cycle, okay, between the 6 supported band. One minor drawbacks, the 2 LEDs indicating your current V-frec and V-band are not super visible outside the canopy, so probably to be sure you selected the correct one. You maybe by the anterior part you can get them, yes, a little bit better. So you will have to do this selection like this, or it's even better to remove temporarily the canopy by removing these 2 lateral screws. Okay, so we have the small SC music, and if you plan it to use it outdoors, I strongly advise to raise the level beacon level strength to maximum. It can play the role of a kind of buzzer. Okay, so it can be done in barely suit. I will show after. So I'm pressed by the size. Okay, and now the main question: what will be the thrust? Okay, I will need to add a small receiver, so I'm hesitating between this super compact FieSky XM and Plus. This one is about 2 grams, a little bit less, with antenna, so it's a super long range, but it's almost useless for such kind of machine. 1 gram 3, 1 gram 2, so with a cable it will reach 1 gram 5. Okay, maybe the XM basic one will be enough, but in total weight, okay, I should reach about 32 grams in my point of view, something like this. So okay, so it's not super. I am in the frontier between the efficiency of the machine. Okay, I'm not on the. I'm not completely on the support of the scale. Okay, it's strange. I'm not in 0. Where I have to. Okay, it's the wires. Lead wires is not. Was not taken into account. So 32 grams approximately. Okay, so plus the extra wire to connect to the flight controller will be 32.3 in my point of view. So the question is rate if it won't be too heavy, and remember that the HB64 coming soon is only 30 gram with the receiver FlySky based, so no RSSI on the OSD, but will be 2 gram less, even more, 2 gram than 5, so it will be a kind of almost 5% less, so it can have an impact on the flying characteristic. Anyway, let's continue to install a receiver and after go to the Betaflight configuration and so on. Okay, here is the result after soldering. So it's a little bit tricky, okay, and I decided to pass through the 2 holes, one for the video transmitter and one for the, I don't know why, the 2 antennas in order to extend the little bit the range, whatever would be fantastic since it's a FlySky XM Plus. So before to close the top canopy part, it's time to bind. Okay, though there is a super small bind button here, and well, and after when it's bound, you can lock everything, or you can also enjoy that the top canopy part is open to tune your preferred video transmitter. But I think with an Allen key I will still be able to select touch the battery. So it's time to buy, and let's check that with the new Orange X i8RM. Okay, so I prepare a model file with the R8M. Selected the FlySky X, so with the D16 protocol, and very important, first things, probably you will need to activate the last channel RSSI here to be sure that for your OSD it will display. And very important, for mine, I observed that I had to tune the frag fine to around 66. What is this value? In fact, by default it's in 0, and in 0 you cannot bind. It is not turned into solid green, and I had to play with this value. So you can set this value to a negative, to minus 127, to up to positive 128, or okay. So I search, okay, and until I found the first value where I was able to lock the green LEDs of the binding, and it was about around 3 or 4, and I increased this value until I lost the bind. And you have a small trick, visual trick, when you will reach the bound of this interval, okay, between the negative value and the positive, you will see that the green light will start to be from solid to flashing slowly. And so when you see that the green light completely on the left start to blink a bit, and then slower and slower, that you mean that you reach a bound, either a lower bound or either an upper bound. So for me, the two values are between 4 to 127. Okay, so I took the middle of the interval, about 66. Okay, so now when I did the procedure, okay, I will show you. So it's pretty easy. I will now go to the bind, okay, option here, ready to bind, and then I will keep press this super tiny button on top of the receiver and be prepared to pre-insert the LiPo. Okay, maybe I hope you'll be able to see it like this. Okay, maybe I will unzoom a bit. Okay, so prepare to pre-insert the the battery. Okay, and not completely, to not boot the machine. Then press this super tiny micro. You need to hear a click to be sure. No, not yet. It's super tiny to press with the nail. Okay, then push it, and if everything is okay, you have a green solid and a red solid. So now you can press the bind button, and if everything is okay, you have the green stay solid, but the red become to flash fast. So you can stop, turn off everything, okay, then return the quadcopter. you will have this red flashing until I turn on the radio, and now I've got a solid green light. Okay, so it's bound, and let's check if we have the telemetry information. So telemetry information, actually I don't see anything available, so it means that this FierSky XM is not flashed with the version display exporting the RSSI via telemetry. So you need to use a Taranis to flash a compatible firmware, and then after is okay. So now I will set my favorite VFRAC, and it will be the now the moment of truth to check a little bit the capacity of these motors. Okay, so I directly configure all the Betaflight information for the HB68. So let's connect and show you how to proceed. So it comes with the target Omnibus F3 with a built-in OSD. So first of all, you will need to open the UART3, serial UART3, in order to connect, for example, here my FierSky XM Plus in S-Bus connection. So if you have also an iBus, you will need also to open this UART3, and more generally also a Spectrum compatible receiver. So let's go directly to the configuration panel, and of course save that, okay. And you will need to check the D-Shot 600, okay. And you can push, this is in F3, you can push a little bit further the PID loop. You can disable the barometer because there is no barometers, okay. And now it's time to select the correct receiver. So it's a serial-based receiver, and more precisely you have to use a S-Bus protocol. So nothing else to select, okay, except the OSD, very important. And we can now save and reboot everything. Okay, you will see that the CPU load won't be increased very much, okay, despite to push the PID loop up to 4 kilos, as you can see, is not really increased. So in terms of PID, we can probably a little bit increase the situation. So if you plan to more fly outdoors and you want to flip, okay, the machine, we will see if the motors will allow such motor thrust to be compatible with a full acro. But in any case, you will probably need to push a little bit faster the pitch and roll speed mode, okay, by increasing something about 800 kilos. It should be acceptable, okay, maybe more, because you have to know that when you have a tiny whoop brush, tiny whoop chassis, it's harder to flip and roll the machine due to the Duke system, okay, so more stability, but also mean harder to perform acro fly figure. So you will need probably to increase a little bit the values, okay, something closer to 800 degrees per second. For the yaw, okay, you can leave like this, or maybe have more linear answers, okay, something like this. So about more about 600 degrees. You can save now the values, okay, saved. And now let's check the receiver. So I will turn on the transmitter, and as you can see, I've got everything correctly done with my Orange XIR8M. So be sure to select the Aeron elevator throttle roller channel mapping. If you have more Taranis radio, probably you will need to select the Spectrum one with the throttle as first channel. If your receiver is compatible with the RSSI, please select the correct aux channel. So for the XM Plus, if I would flash him with the correct firmware, the RSSI should appear in aux 9. So please check that. If you have more a D8 receiver with RSSI, will be more the X4. So as you can see, I can select with my aux3 this two-way, the aux1 is this three-way, and this aux2 is this three-way. Okay, so now it's time to select the different mode, and I propose for the Orange X to arm the machine with the switch D. For me, okay, is the aux3 currently, okay. For me, the left three-way switch is the flight mode selection. So between angle, full 6-axis stabilized, horizon, still 6-axis stabilized until the extreme values of the stick command, then it will be in acro, and then full up, it's an acro with anti-gravity turn on. So let's check now the OSD, and I decided to display a fraction of information, the main battery voltage, okay, currently here, the crosshair, very useful to target the center of your scene, the timer 1, so in order to check your durability and your flight time, the flight mode, okay, here, and the throttle position is also good to know what is the amount of thrust you need to apply to a fly or to perform a figure. Okay, so when it's done, one important thing is to set the camera in NTSC. No possibility with this one to tune it into pale whatever you long press the unique button. So you can also adapt the 2x60 mAh battery limitation. You can save, okay, and everything is done. So what you have to do next is also to perform one minor things to the BLE configurator. And since there is no buzzer, the very important thing is to set at least the buzzer beeper volume. It's very important. You can increase a lot of the volume. Okay, so how to proceed? When you plug the battery after press connection, you can press now read setup, and it's very important to select at least something between 2 minutes or 1 minute, okay, here, and to select the beep strength to maximum 255, and you can write the setup, okay, you can see that is writing for all the 4 ESC simultaneously, and then after 1 minute of inactivity, the machine will start to buzz more stronger, more loud, so you will be able to find your localize this machine within a radius of 5 meters, which is already not bad despite the absence of a buzzer. Okay, so now everything is configured. It's time to test this machine indoors. Okay, I will try also to perform first a lost flight to show you the amount of punch out. Okay, and after more some FPV flight. Let's go.
Okay, time to do the outdoor test of the HB68. So be sure to charge your battery with the Elite HV model, okay, program, because it's pushing the voltage up to 4.35 volts. So I will record on my FPV goggles as well and arm the machine. So let's see punch out. Wow, not bad. Okay, not bad. So let's see that. Yes. It's stable for sure. Okay, let's attempt more acro fly. Okay, let's see. Oh. Wow, I have to increase a little bit the maximum speed rate, okay, to be sure to turn correctly. Okay. Okay, rearm the machine. It's not super powerful, okay. We could expect a little bit more from a brushless machine, but it's fast. It's super agile, that's great. I really like it. I need to increase the rate to something more around 1000 degrees per second, but it's super agile, very beautiful, fly beautifully. So let's see one more time punch out. You really need to push up to maximum the throttle, and you can feel that sometimes it's lacking of motor thrust. Okay, so it's relatively silent for a brushless. I think this machine would deserve to have maybe 4 grams less, and it will probably boost all the performances. Maybe the Fisker XM Plus is not the right choice. Probably can have something more lighter, 1 gram lighter. But it's not bad, huh? Wow. It's super stable, even faster, so I really like that. Okay, the machine start to be weak. Okay, now let's test more indoors.
Je suis née ce matin, je m'appelle Merci. Au milieu de la mer, entre deux pays. Merci. C'était un long chemin et maman l'a pris. Elle m'avait dans la peau 8 mois et demi. Oh oui, 8 mois et demi. On a quitté la maison, c'était la guerre. Sûr qu'elle avait raison, y avait rien à perdre. Oh non, excepté la vie. Je suis née ce matin, je m'appelle Merci. Je suis née ce matin, je m'appelle Merci. Au milieu de la mer, entre deux pays. C'était un long chemin et maman l'a pris. Elle m'avait dans la peau 8 mois et demi. Oh oui, 8 mois et demi. On a quitté la maison, c'était la guerre. Sûr qu'elle avait raison, y avait rien à perdre.